Color, the world around us, or should I say, the absence of. You see, the surface of an object reflects certain colors and absorbs all the others. We perceive only the reflected colors. Color may be a part of everyday life and may seem like a simple concept. However, color is much more. Color can be associated with certain topics and have important meanings. My group has done research on some fascinating colors, and today we will inform you on their associations and importance. To begin with, what do you think of when I mention the color red? To some, it may mean the word love. To some, it may mean power. Scientists assume that ages ago, societies developed names for colors that they felt the strongest connection to. Over time, the color red has become a symbol of love, power, and beauty. The color red has many firsts. These firsts include being the first color babies are able to see, the first color we perceive after black and white, and the first color seen by those suffering from temporary color blindness after a brain injury, states Maud Bass-Kruger in an online article posted by Google Arts and Culture. In the world of art, the color red had many uses. Jessica Stewart states in an online article by My Modern Red that red was one of the first colors used by artists dating back to prehistory. During the Middle Ages, it was significant with religion, and it was associated with the blood of Christ and the fires of hell, states Haley Van Bram in an online article posted by Color Psychology. When used in a painting, red was supposed to direct the audience's attention to the most important parts. One of the oldest forms of red comes from a red-tinted clay given its color by the mineral hematite. Scientists have found evidence that over 40,000 years ago, hunters and gatherers would ground up this clay to make a body paint, which could also be used to draw animals and paint on cave walls to record things and be used as a way of communication. In addition, red has been used in clothing to symbolize power for hundreds of years. In the Chinese culture, red was associated with prosperity and good fortune. In the Tang era painting of Chinese emperors from the Han Sui dynasty, 11 out of the 13 emperors can be seen wearing a red robe to symbolize their power. In this portrait of Princess Elizabeth I, we are seeing her prepare to take her position as a powerful monarch. The dress's color, pattern, and details, along with her close-fitting cap, sends the message of her political and moral strength. So, as we can see, the color red has had a great impact on art, fashion, and simply everyday life. Society has associated colors with certain topics for ages. So when I ask you what you think of when I say the color red and you answer with love or power or beauty, you have been affected by the societal standpoint and prove my information and research correct, meaning red is one of the most powerful colors.
Today I'm going to be informing you about the color blue. So, when did blue become a thing? Because blue really wasn't present in nature. Blue isn't really seen a lot in animals that aren't rare. Most flowers are only blue because of human intervention. And most fruits and vegetables lack the color blue as well. So, most scientists generally agree that humans began to see the blue as a color when they started making blue pigments. In Afghanistan, a lapis semi-precious stone was mined and became highly prized among the Egyptians. They adored the bright blue of the mineral they used as chemistry to combine the rare lapis with other ingredients, and they generated other saturated blue pigments. It was at that time that the Egyptian word for blue became a thing. Slowly, they started spreading their blue dyes throughout the world, passing them on to the Persians, to the Romans. The dyes were expensive, only royalty could afford them, and blue remained rare for many centuries, though it slowly became popular enough to earn its own name in various languages. Blue is embraced by many as the color of heaven, authority, denim jeans, and corporate logos. I can't speak. It is cold, wet, and slow, compared to red's warmth, fire, and intensity. Blue has more complex and contradictory meanings than any other color. These can be easily explained by dark blue representing trust, dignity, intelligence, authority, bright blue being cleanliness, strength, dependability, and coolness, light blue being peace, serenity, spiritual, and infinity. Most people in the States would consider blue to be more of a positive, peaceful color, while other people might consider it to be a more sad, mourning, depressed color. The color blue could also be associated with open spaces. It could also mean freedom, intuition, imagination, inspiration, and sensitivity. It also means depth, trust, loyalty, sincerity, wisdom, confidence, stability, faith. Some scientists believe that the earliest humans were actually colorblind and could only recognize black, white, red, and only later yellow and green. As a result, early humans with no concept of the color blue simply had no words to describe it. This is even reflected in ancient literature, such as Homer's Odyssey that describes the ocean as a wine Red Sea because they didn't know what blue was. When the Catholic Church made an important move in the year 431 AD, the church decided to color code the saints, and Mary was given a blue robe. Over time, the shade of blue that Mary wore became what is now known as navy blue. Because Mary stood for innocence and trustworthiness, the color blue is seen as a positive light. This same navy blue was adopted by the militaries and police to convey a similar essence of trust. As navy blue became more popular among authorities, people began to associate it with the idea of authority. Thus, different shades of blue needed to be developed in order to convey the color's original peaceful, subdued meaning. The history of the color blue for color for the boys is even a newer notion that was made after World War II. After World War II's baby boom. It came as a marketing scheme as manufacturers could sell more clothes if some were distinctly for boys and others were distinctly for girls. So many people adore the color blue. It is used widely in interior design, fashion, and not only is there a word for blue, there are hundreds of words in various shades. The color blue really does mean so many different things to people, and really that's what makes it such a special thing, and that's the origin of blue.
Hi, my name is Victoria, and today I will be informing you about the color green. Green is a very beautiful color and has been around for many, many years and centuries. The color green originates from Sweden, by a chemist named Shields Green, and he invented and created that color with a toxic chemical, arsenite. So an artist believed that this color was very toxic to them if they were to use it. So there's good meanings and bad meanings to the color green, as there is in any color in any type of way. So there's a good meaning is health, wealth, just good all around. The color green just signifies good. So some examples would be if you're playing a video game and you're damaged, you're hurt, you're red health, you're about to die. But whenever you get all the way healed to green, you're good to go, you're revived, you're better. So you're ready to, continue playing and live. Another one is going to be traffic lights. If you're driving, you stop at a traffic light, it's red. Whenever it's green, you're good to go. It signifies, that you're good to go. Another one, health. Green in health would be like your foods, say your vegetables, your greens. You have broccoli, cucumbers, lettuce, turnip greens. You have celery. Anything that is the color green is usually, and a vegetable or a fruit is usually good for you. So that's another good way to signify green and what it represents. Another one is wealth, money. Whenever you see money and wealth, you see green because money is green. So that's another good way. It signifies wealth, health, all of those. But as anything does have, it has good and bad. So some bad examples of green would be when someone is physically ill, feels sick, you're going to use the phrase turning green, or their face was green in the face, queasy. Green really does, interpret that meaning of ill. Whenever someone's nauseous, that's kind of the phrases you would use, and that kind of what the word green in those phrases represent illness. Another one is gonna be, another bad example would be if someone's jealous of you. That's another one. Or disgusted. When you're disgusted with someone, like the color green just really is, it really represents that. So yeah, I really hope y'all learned a lot from my portion on color green, and I really hope I informed you as good as possible. And it's a beautiful color, so hope it's your new favorite color. The two sources that I used today on informing you about the color green is The Color Psychology of Green by Kendra Cherry and The History of the Color Green by Emma Taggart.
Now that we have heard about the origin of the colors red, blue, and green, I will be informing you of the origin of the color yellow. Similar to the color red, yellow is one of the oldest known colors in history. According to a 2020 article posted on artsandcollection.com entitled A Brief History of the Color of Yellow, cave paintings from over 17,000 years ago have been shown to use ochre mineral to produce the yellow pigment that you've seen. Studies show that yellow resonates on the left side, or the logic side of the brain. It is said that it helps with clear thinking and producing creativity. Yellow is the brightest color on the visible spectrum, with wavelengths between 575 and 585 nanometers. With that being said, yellow is the most visible to the human eye. On the spectrum of visibility, yellow sits between the colors orange and green. Carotenoids give the yellow color to autumn leaves, corn, and bananas. They absorb light and energy and protect plants from photo damage. According to webexhibits.com, for over a century, it was believed that the color of Indian yellow was produced by providing cattle with mango leaves only and water. They would then, in an effort to discolor the urine, they would then dry the urine, which was collected in terracotta pots, clarified to a syrup over an open flame, and it would be filtered, dried, and would be formed into balls of pigment. While this allegation is fascinating, there is no concrete evidence to prove that this was how Indian yellow pigment was designed. Like you've heard from my group members, there are often color associations. According to Greek mythology, the color yellow is radiant like the sun. Therefore, it signifies divine wisdom. Because of its association to sunlight, yellow often is associated with happiness and optimism. In China, yellow is worn by the Emperor of the Middle Kingdom. It is also said that he lays out a yellow carpet for his special guest. In Brazil, yellow symbolizes intellect and wealth. Therefore, you can see locals wearing the color on the new year to attract money and wealth. On the other hand, in Italy, for example, the color yellow is often associated with crime stories. The association began in the 1930s when a series of the first published crime stories was published with yellow covers. In religious paintings, yellow is often the color that Judas wears, so it's often looked as the color of deceit. It can also be referred to as the color of cowardness, which in the American symbolization, you can hear the expression of yellow belly, meaning cowardly person. After hearing about the origins and the different colors, how has this affected you? Has this changed your mind on which color you believe is your favorite? According to a 2021 survey conducted on fullstop.360.com, the most popular reported color was blue. Although we may all vary on our color preferences, maybe now we have learned more about the origins and you will change your mind on what your favorite color is. I hope my group has enlightened you with the fascinating world of color. Thank you for giving us your time and thank you for your attention during our speech. We hope you all have a great day.